Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Full Court Press. You know what it is. You know what it is. Not even going to ask these guys what they're doing because we know Matty Ice is in the building. Virgil is chilling. Once they come up with new material, I'll let them introduce themselves. No, really. How you guys doing today?
Nah, fuck that. How are you doing today, bro?
I'm all right. You know, it's shitty day at work, but then I get to come here with you guys. It really makes my day a little bit brighter. Pause.
For everybody, I just taught Alex what pause means. So yeah, but I'm chilling. I'm in the building. We here. We live. Let's get it popping. What's good with Virgil? How you doing?
Yo. As Alex said earlier, I'm always chilling. So
it is confirmed. Matty Ice is in the building, and Virgil is chilling.
Yes. Say it loud.
Oh, say it loud and proud, guys. All right, guys. Do we have some shit for you going on today? Today it's Tuesday. Regular season's not quite over yet, so there's a lot of games to determine some playoff spots. We would have loved to have this podcast once the regular season was done. Unfortunately, Matt has some other obligations in California. Congrats to what is your cousin getting married?
Yeah, he's signing his life away.
Good for him.
We all got to cross that bridge.
You don't have to, but it's more than likely going to happen. Anyways, so we're going to have this, premature season-ending party right now. Just going to talk about some of the matchups we want to have happen, some matchups we think we got to happen, who's going to get in with that last game against Denver and Minnesota. So, let's get this ball rolling, guys. So we're going to start off with the Eastern Conference. Every playoff spot is clinched, but, it's still up a toss. Obviously, Toronto's got the first seed locked. Boston's got the second seed locked. And right now, if Washington loses against Boston, which we're currently watching right now, Washington would lock into the 8th seed. Indiana has the 5th seed locked. They're not moving up or down. Basically, what we see, if Philly wins out, they'll be... Okay, so if Philly wins out, but Cleveland beats the Knicks tomorrow, they would both be... hold on.
Get it together.
We
live on TV,
it's so
man.
confusing, guys. So if Philly wins out, they clinch the 3rd seed. But if they say they beat Atlanta, which it looks like they're going to do, and they lose to Milwaukee, and Cleveland beats the Knicks, because of their regular season matchups are tied, because of their divisional records, Cleveland is better than Philly. So Cleveland would then move to the 3rd seed. So then Philly would face up against Indiana. Now, Milwaukee plays Philly on tomorrow, and whoever wins that game, again, if Philly wins, they'll clinch the 3rd seed. If Milwaukee loses, then they'll drop some spots. But Miami's playing Toronto, so if Toronto wins, Miami will lock into the 7th seed, and Milwaukee will lock into the 6th seed, thus completing the Eastern Conference playoffs. So, Matt, what kind of matchups do you want to see? What do you think are going to happen with these matchups if they occur? What do you think is going to be the final shiznit that's going on right now? Tell me about that.
So, me personally, what I want to see is Boston and Washington. I want to see that matchup, but that's more based off of last year playoff matchup that they had. That went to Game 7. Very good matchup. I want to see that again, and I think Kyrie not being there kind of levels the playing field, actually. And, that was a very entertaining matchup, so I wouldn't mind seeing that. So Wizards, they have to take care of business. But they've been flopping all year. I don't know what's up with them this year.
They worse with John Wall.
I don't know about that, but they just haven't been. But I think if they do, if Boston, they don't have Kyrie. Obviously, they don't have Hayward. If they play the Wizards or Milwaukee, I do think that they would lose in that first round. But I would rather see Washington advance.
Okay. What's the question?
Do you pay attention?
I'm waiting for you the moderator. You're supposed to ask the question again.
He's got this handful of Hennessy, and he's like, "Oh, what's the question?"
You're supposed to ask the question again, man.
Oh, am I? Okay. All right, Mr. First Take. So, which of these matchups do you want to see happen? Like, where do you think these teams will end up? And what kind of matchups are you interested to see?
interestingly enough, back in the day, I would love to see the Wade versus LeBron matchup. That would have been like huge. Even though I still think now that match would have been still huge because I feel like Wade got like a mental effect on LeBron when they play each other. There's something there.
It's that big brother effect.
It's that yeah, it must be. It must be. There's a lot of history there, but I don't want that matchup to happen for LeBron's sake. So the matchup I'm looking forward to in the East. That's the question, right?
Yes.
All right. So the question.
Do you want me to ask it again?
No, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. So the match I'm looking forward to. I'm actually gotta 1 second. Let me see something real quick. Cause I definitely like. The hell's wrong with the internet, man?
Dude, I told you your internet was messing up. That's why it's taking 11 hours for episode 5 to load.
Unbelievable. Okay, so. All right, so I'm gonna go with. Who's Boston playing in the first round? Okay, so
it depends.
I'm gonna go with Boston, Miami. I'm definitely feeling that matchup right there because I feel like Wade has something in him that's gonna get him out the first round, absolutely. And that Milwaukee, Sixers matchup, that's a scary matchup for Philly.
That is. It's a scary matchup for Milwaukee also. That because it looks like it's gonna be Ben Simmons on Greek Freak, and those are just two long ass motherfuckers.
Is Embiid playing? Is Embiid playing?
It's unknown if Embiid will play in the first round.
If Embiid's not playing, then I'm gonna go with Philly winning in 6,
as opposed to like Philly winning in 4
and 5.
In 5. All right,
but yeah, I'm gonna give.
So regardless, if Philly ends up against Milwaukee, Philly's taking that series.
I think Philly's taking that series.
I agree because I think Milwaukee's overrated as shit.
Man, I don't know what your beef is with Milwaukee, but they got talent, and I think when it gets to the playoffs,
there's no beef.
The thing is,
I think they're overrated.
When it gets to the playoffs, it's actually easier to coach in the playoffs because the game slows down. It's all about matchups, and you could actually game plan for a specific team. Where in the season you go from team to team, so it's hard to really like game plan. The thing is with Milwaukee, they're young. They don't have like a system that they run.
They have trouble closing out games, and Philadelphia is red hot. I would hate to be if for some reason like Philly and Cleveland ended up in the 4-5 matchup. I would hate to be Cleveland because Philly is red hot right now. Even without Embiid, like they're a steamrolling machine.
Didn't Philly lock up the third spot?
Not yet.
So basically, Philly has to they have to basically win out.
Or Cleveland lose to New York.
Right. So if Philly wins one and loses one, they would be 51-31. But if Cleveland wins against New York, they would also be 51-31 because their head-to-head matchup is tied. You go to divisional record. Cleveland has a better divisional record, which will bump Cleveland up to the 3rd seed.
And we already know that the Knicks went into the queue earlier this season and whooped that Cleveland ass. Tim Hardaway had like 37.
But you saw the game the other day.
I actually didn't.
Well, Cleveland just swiped the floor with them. But they're in tank mode, so it doesn't matter.
Irrelevant. We're going to disregard that last comment.
No, we're not. Cleveland is on top of the world right now. Because you know why I feel like they're on top of the world?
They're not even on top of their conference.
Because they're on top of the bottom half. So they number 4, right? But they're underdogs right now.
So that would mean they're at the bottom of the first.
Let me ask you a question. Or I'm not going to ask you, is Cleveland beating the Pacers? I'm not going to ask you that.
Oh no, they're winning.
What and how many games?
I want to give Indiana 2. I think Cleveland wins in 6.
In 6? I go in 5.
That's fair. I mean, I just want to see an interesting series. I don't hate what Indiana's doing. I actually like it. I think Victor Oladipo is having a hell of a season. And I think, they can give Cleveland some problems. I think maybe they steal one at home, but I don't believe so. Maybe they take the 2 at home, tie it up, and then Cleveland just wins out.
Second round. Now, who's winning that series? Toronto or Cleveland?
I think Cleveland's going to take that.
And how many games?
As a basketball fan, I hope that series goes 7.
I'm not asking what you hope.
It's hard to answer.
How many games?
5 or 6.
5 or 6?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 5. So that's right there, the conference finals.
Well, no, and then it would be. Hopefully, it would be like Philly
Cleveland. Now, how long is that series gonna go for?
Oh, Philly in 7.
Philly in 7. Okay.
Philly's going to the finals.
The rookie young full Philly's going to the finals. Okay.
I mean, they have veteran leadership in JJ Redick. He's going to guide him to the promised land.
Okay. You got me there with JJ.
No, but you
got me
can't
there.
even say that Ben Simmons is playing like a rookie. The guy's been playing. He plays like he's been 5 years in the league already. Like, so. He's definitely not.
Everybody knows the season is totally different from the playoffs. The lights are brighter in the playoffs.
No, I
the
get
crowd
it.
is louder.
I see where you're coming from.
So,
but Philly has nothing to lose, really.
For a young team, for a rookie team, it's tough to win away. Now, I'm not saying listen, I agree with you. Philly's gonna get past the first round, second round. But I'm saying the conference finals, that's when the rookie mistakes start happening. They start to tire out. Yeah. They never been this far before, and this is
in all honesty,
this is the most basketball they ever play in their lives.
Right.
So this is like they're gonna be tired, overwhelmed. Shit like that is gonna happen, and Cleveland's just gonna take it and use their experience.
No, in all honesty, Cleveland's gonna go to the finals. I would love to see like kind of upset, shake things up. I would love to see an upset in the West and shake things up. I don't want to see Golden State back there. Like I would love to see Houston.
Golden State.
I would love to see OKC. If OKC can somehow pull that shit out of their hat, God bless them. I would love to see Portland, but who knows in the wild, wild West.
My prediction as far as Cleveland goes, since Virgil had to change this into some type of topic about Cleveland, they'll get past Indiana in 6 because Indiana did beat them like 2 out of 3 games this year during the regular season. It's just not a good matchup for Cleveland, but and they have the LeBron stopper and Lance Stevenson.
It's gonna blow in his ears.
But they're going to they'll take care of business of Indiana, but I have Cleveland getting bounced out in the second round.
By who?
By Toronto. That's my prediction. I have them getting bounced out in the second round.
What? You think Toronto is going to be Cleveland in the second round? And what? And how many games?
To be honest, I think they'll do it in 6.
You got to be kidding me. Do you give LeBron any hope whatsoever? Do you consider him the greatest player of our generation right now?
Of our generation? I mean, of right now, LeBron got it. What do you want me to say? Nobody has clearly stepped up. That's my phone. I was just watching Donovan Mitchell. He dropped Draymond Green.
Oh, he dropped him?
Yeah, he crossed him.
Shit.
But LeBron.
Don't look back there.
Don't
look back there, man.
LeBron got it. The thing is, nobody has stepped forward and with force. I'm taking the league over. I'm taking over. Maybe in my opinion, it's between Harden and Curry. But the thing is, KD went to freaking Golden State, so people.
Harden. First of all, Harden. You give Harden way too much credit. He is probably like Peyton Manning, the greatest regular season MVP ever or whatever. But he is not. He hasn't done anything.
All right, we're getting off topic.
What has he done in the finals? I mean, in the playoffs.
I got Toronto beating the Cavs because this year LeBron does not have that supporting cast that he's always had. He doesn't have that Robin to him. You could say Kevin Love, but Kevin Love is not no Kyrie Irving. He's not no Dwayne Wade. He's just not that caliber player that LeBron is used to having. So it's so much on his shoulders. And Toronto plays different basketball this year. They are different. They don't just rely on Lowry and DeRozan to take them where they got to go. They go 9 deep.
Unless the pressure is on. Unless the pressure is on, they resort back to one-on-one basketball.
They don't. That's the thing. You can't go back to one-on-one basketball if you're on the bench. DeRozan and Lowry be on the bench, and they literally let the bench guys go. And those guys be putting up numbers.
So you think the bench is going to finish the games in the playoffs?
Every time Toronto's playing, they build their lead. The key for the bench is if the starters have a 5-10 point lead, the bench is supposed to come in and at least maintain that lead at what it is. Toronto pushes it up to 15 or 18. So that's what happens with Toronto. They have the best bench in the league this year. So that's what makes them really different this year. And Cleveland, to me, they're just not that deep. They're not that deep. LeBron has so much on his shoulders. He really got to carry these guys to the finals. And Toronto has a team. It's a team sport at the end of the day. That's why I think in the playoffs, and LeBron's been going so hard all year long. He got to get tired, man. Sooner or later,
he'll get tired, but he ain't getting tired and losing to freaking DeRozan and freaking Lowry. You know what I mean? It's not happening. I feel like, and I'm gonna say why. It's been proven statistically that DeRozan's numbers goes down in the fourth quarter. Facts. Lowry is steady, but Lowry is not gonna beat you in a game. Like it's not gonna happen. The best player in Toronto is DeRozan. And DeRozan fades away during crucial moments, especially if LeBron James is on.
Are you looking at that because DeRozan may sit in the fourth quarter because of his bench doing well? Is that a possibility too?
The coach is a good coach. He knows what he's doing, so he knows that DeRozan sometimes fades in the fourth quarter. So he purposely puts him on the bench.
If he also knows what he's doing and the bench is on fire and they're winning this game, he's not going to change that up.
Do you think the bench is going to win you win the series? You think the bench is going to win?
They're not going to win the series, but they can win you a game.
Okay, but are they going to win the series? That's the question.
The bench is not going to win the series.
No.
Your stars are going to win the series. But I'm asking,
that's the difference.
Could the decrease in DeRozan's numbers be related to him being on the bench in the fourth quarter because the bench is doing work?
No, the decrease in his numbers is his play. That's the decrease in the numbers.
Well, what's his field goal percentage in the fourth quarter?
Why would you put your best player on a team on the bench in the fourth quarter? There's a reason for that.
If the bench is putting in work, why would you change? Why would you change?
How often is that going to happen?
With the best bench in the NBA
in the fourth quarter?
With the best bench in the NBA,
your best player on your team isn't sitting down. Why can't you use the bench and still keep DeRozan in the game?
Because then it might just mess up the chemistry that's going on right there in the game.
So the best player on your team is going to mess up the chemistry in your team's game. That should say something about the best player on your team.
It's about the chemistry. So obviously DeRozan plays well with the starters, but they have the best bench in the NBA for a reason. They have the highest scoring bench. If they're out there doing work, why mess that up? DeRozan is probably like, keep him out there. Like, obviously I want to go out there and do well for my team. But if the bench is right now going to win them that game, DeRozan's humble enough to know that he needs to, put on his big boy pants and say, like, let them do this. Like, they got this. I'm not going to, get all big-headed and, ruin potential chance to win.
What kind of champion are you? Hold on.
He's not a champion.
Did Kobe have that mentality?
Kobe didn't have the kind of bench that DeRozan's having right now.
Did Shaq have that mentality?
Shaq never had that bench.
Does even LeBron James have that mentality?
You're doing these stupid comparisons again. Like, Kobe, Shaq, and LeBron. You're comparing Kobe, Shaq, and LeBron to DeMar DeRozan? Are you nuts?
So DeMar DeRozan is not going to beat LeBron James in the freaking conference finals. All right, mark my words.
In his 15th season, it's possible that LeBron gets slowed down in the
with
playoffs.
his numbers right now. Damn, I this damn internet needs to work so I can pull out these stats.
You know who DeMar DeRozan's favorite player is?
LeBron James, Kobe Bryant.
It's Kobe. So I think this is the year he's gonna bring out that inner Kobe, put the team on his back.
He doesn't have an inner Kobe.
That Mamba mentality.
He's gonna bring that. He's gonna put that team on his back this year, playoff time when it counts the most, and he is gonna go head to head with LeBron and get the job done. That's my prediction. It's gonna happen in the second round.
He can't compete with LeBron. He doesn't go head to head with LeBron. His talent doesn't warrant him to go head to head with LeBron.
LeBron can't guard him.
LeBron could guard DeRozan.
No, he can't.
LeBron could guard DeRozan,
He can't.
man. LeBron can't guard DeRozan?
No.
Why can't LeBron guard DeRozan? He can't shoot threes just like Steph Curry.
He's been shooting threes
this
year. He's not just shooting as Steph is, but he's shooting threes this year way better than last year.
He's not Durant. He's not Harden. He's not Steph Curry.
You are doing these comparisons again.
But here's
these stupid comparisons
again. Here's the thing. LeBron's kryptonite when he plays defense is those 3-point shootings and running around in circles and those 3-point shootings. Durant, 3-point shooting. Steph Curry, 3-point shooting. Even freaking who else? Those 3-point shooting.
It's not so much as LeBron can't guard DeRozan. LeBron won't be guarding DeRozan.
When playoff time, he's gonna guard DeRozan.
No, he's not.
Clutch time.
Did he guard Kevin Durant in the finals last year?
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
He did guard Kevin Durant in the finals. He didn't guard Kevin Durant in the finals.
Not a lot.
He did guard Kevin Durant in the finals.
It was a lot of the times, like in the first half of the game, he was not guarding DeRozan. He was not guarding Durant.
He was guarding Durant.
Not in those first half.
All I hear is Durant cooked LeBron. Durant cooked LeBron because he had 35 points and LeBron had 33, and Durant was guarding LeBron. But he got cooked.
Having 35 points scored against you for the so-called elite defender, that's getting cooked.
That is getting cooked. But 33 points? 33 points is just the same as being cooked, too.
Durant was getting cooked, yeah.
All right, so they're both getting cooked.
I mean, yeah, but so they both were playing shitty defense. Way to go, Matt.
Oh, man, I don't know. He's dropping
So
stuff.
basically, in the first half of the game, LeBron was not guarding Durant as much to do what he's doing right now, is to save his energy.
Yeah.
And first of all, DeRozan plays the 2, so they're probably going to start off like, JR or like Clarkson or George Hill on DeRozan. See how that goes.
Rodney Hood starting? Was Rodney Hood starting?
Or Rodney Hood. Yeah, Rodney Hood. Because Rodney Hood's a big body. Can give DeRozan a little bit of trouble. I don't even... Who's starting?
But you gotta give Cleveland a little bit of credit. I mean...
I do give Cleveland a lot of credit. I think they're going to make it to the finals.
Yeah, thank you. And they got a lot of good role players there, too.
The difference is LeBron always has good role players. He always has good role players. He always has good teammates. This year, he does not have 3 All-Stars on his team. He always... Any of LeBron's championships or his finals runs, except for 2007, he's had 3 All-Stars, and he's had guys that he could rely on. When he goes to the bench, Kyrie's going to run the offense, and he's going to get buckets. You know Kyrie's going to do that. D-Wade, whatever the case may be. He does not have that security, that sense of security this year, which is why you see him putting up these crazy 40-point triple-doubles, and they're still losing. He doesn't have that other playmaker.
But I don't think he needs that other playmaker.
To win regular season games, you're gonna win. LeBron's good enough. You're gonna win 50 games. But when it gets to the playoffs, and now the defense is keying in on you, they're clogging the paint when LeBron is trying to drive. It's different. It's not as easy
but if
as
he did it
you think.
If he did it in 2007, 07, what makes you think he can't do it now?
Because he's 10 years older, and in 2007
he's
definitely
a
hungrier.
smarter basketball player. He's a smarter basketball player. He's averaging averaging
100%
more.
smarter.
He's averaging more.
Smarter, yeah, but he is nowhere. You know how young legs go. Young legs, you can run for miles and miles and miles.
In the league, he wasn't fundamentally sound as he is now. As far as hitting threes, he didn't have a shot back then.
Right. His offense is definitely better now. I agree with you.
He wasn't a better passer back then either.
No, what I'm saying, his offense is fine, but it's the endurance. He's not going to be able to go back and forth and play 100% on both ends of the court. As you see this season, he takes plays off on defense. He takes a lot of plays off on defense to save for those monster numbers that he's putting up on offense.
Well, he's saving for the playoffs.
Right. Yeah, he's doing that too. But I don't think you can just turn on defense like that. Maybe in clutch moments, yeah, but he's going to get really tired out. It's 15 years in the league. What was the guy 32?
So you mean to tell me LeBron 2007 LeBron is better than 2018 LeBron?
Dude, when did I say that?
Wait, that's what you're pretty
no,
much
I'm
telling
saying
me.
2007 LeBron was in much better shape and can afford to run back and forth, play 100% on both ends of the court. Never did I say in my life that 2007 LeBron was better than 2018.
Right, so let me ask you this. So, in the 2007, right? Who was the contending teams in the East? It was Detroit.
Detroit was a big one.
Who else?
Miami. Well, not Miami. No, not in 2007. Not Miami. Let's see. Washington.
You had Detroit, who made
New Jersey. Was New Jersey?
Oh yeah, New Jersey Nets was still good. They had Carter, and Jason Kidd. They're a little bit older at that time, but New Jersey was good. They had the Wizards with Arenas and Butler,
Gilbert,
and Jameson. Wizards. Yep. You had, so Miami lost in the first round to Chicago.
Is it safe to say that the 2007 Eastern Conference was more competitive than this Eastern Conference?
No, because there's 4 teams that won 50 games in the East this season, and I think that's the first time since the 90s or something like that's happened. So this year you got Cleveland, Philly. Obviously, we know Boston and their injury issues, but you still can never count them out because Brad Stevens is an amazing coach, and
hell of a coach,
and Toronto. So I wouldn't say that 2007 was a better comp because New Jersey was good, but that was 4 years removed from them making the finals.
Yeah, it's true. 3
and
years,
then
04.
Miami, they didn't have Wade. Wade blew his shoulder out that year.
Yeah.
And then the Bulls, they lost to Chicago, but that was a young Bulls team. They didn't even have anybody. They
Derrick
had,
Rose
like,
on that team.
that was 2007. Rose, nah. They drafted him the next year, but they had Ben Gordon.
They had Ben Gordon. They had Kirk Heinrich. They had Brad Miller.
Yeah, it wasn't they had Luol Deng.
Right. Luol Deng was probably their leading scorer.
It wasn't a team
Ben Gordon was a different monster in the playoffs.
No, Ben Gordon was their leading scorer. I'll tell you that right now. He was, but
in the playoffs or regular season,
both. He was the go-to guy, but they're not beating. I mean, Cleveland wasn't that good either. Let's put it like that. What LeBron did against Detroit, that was amazing. Right. I don't think he has that kind of performance in him again, though. Like, teams are not stupid enough to let somebody score 30 points straight. Double team the guy and get the ball out of his damn hands. You know what I'm saying? That's what Philly did the other night. That's exactly what Philadelphia did the other night.
Yeah, I mean, you cannot just let him bulldoze over you, which is what a lot of these NBA teams do. Like they just need to be in a better defensive system where they need to get the ball out of LeBron's hands, get it into someone else's hands, let them shoot it. They can get their own whatever.
Look, this is what Philly did the other night, right? I was watching. They were playing LeBron straight up. He kept getting the switch and going at Marco Bellinelli. God knows, man, when he created Marco Bellinelli.
He's like, this guy will not be a defensive monster.
He cannot guard LeBron James. Like, this is impossible. So he was just killing him, and he get the switch every time and will kill him. So Philly, when they set the screen, both defenders just went to LeBron and they just trapped him, and LeBron will pick up his dribble and be forced to pass it out. Pass it to J.R. Smith. J.R. this year has been up and down. He gonna have an a couple times he passed it to Osman, who was just always an open guy. Osman was always an open guy, and he didn't hit 1 3. He missed like 3 or 4 threes in the fourth quarter alone.
Those are very valid points, but I feel like LeBron. To answer your question before LeBron, I think LeBron could have a performance like that. We had 50 points. 48 points.
48 points, but it's not the 48 points. It's the 27 out of the last 29 points in the fourth quarter.
You think you go off for 27 points in the fourth quarter?
You have your team's last 27 of. You have 27 points in fourth quarter and overtime. No, like those top teams, like Detroit was a very good team at the time and very good defensive team, but I don't know what they were smoking that night.
But hold on, but. They play better defense back then than they do now. I think they're not as defensively sound.
Well, the thing about Toronto, what you're not paying attention to, Toronto is top 5 offense and defense in the league. They're top 5 offense and defense in the league. They have size, which is Cleveland's problem. They don't have size. Toronto has size. They got 3-point shooting. Like, they have a full team. Don't get me wrong. They could very well beat Cleveland and then get to the conference finals and lose to whoever they play. I could see them losing to Philly in the conference finals.
Who?
Toronto.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then if Toronto or Philly or Cleveland, for that matter, goes to the NBA finals, they're going to get like destroyed by whoever comes out the West, regardless of who it is. But you got to give Toronto credit. Top 5 offense and defense is not going to just disappear in the playoffs, bro. And Cleveland's like 28th in defense.
You got that right. So we obviously got the Cleveland out of our mouths. Any other matchups we're looking forward to? I know that it looks like Washington's going to beat Boston today, so that 8 seed's not locked up. But Miami, basically Toronto has in their own hands who they want to play. Would they rather play Miami or would they rather play Washington? So if they want to play Miami, they're going to play hard tomorrow night. They want to play Boston, if they want to play Washington, they might rest their starters.
With that number 1 bench in the league, they still might win.
That is very true. But if Dwayne Casey just like, this is in our hands, guys. Who do we want to play with? We have it basically in our hands. I think they'd rather play. Who do you think they'd rather play? Because I think they'd rather. It's tough to say. I think they would be able. I think they'd want Miami.
Yeah, you want Miami because Washington, they have talent. They have like top 5.
They're one of the best backcourts in the NBA.
They have top 5 seed talent. You don't want to see that team. Like, nobody wants to see them. They just haven't had a great season. Injuries and things like that. John Wall missed time twice throughout this season. You know.
Right. So I think Toronto's going to go all out, try and take out Miami, so they can play Miami in the playoffs in the first round. But yeah, it's looking like that Cleveland. If Cleveland ends up in the 4th seed and plays Indiana, that's going to be a really fun series to watch. But yeah, I think that Philly-Milwaukee series, if that turns out to be it, I think it could potentially. But Philly plays Milwaukee, so if one of them has to lose, it could end up that Philly ends up in the 4th seed, and it could be Cleveland against Miami, depending how it plays out. It's still so many games to toss up in the air.
I want to see Cleveland and Milwaukee just to see that LeBron-Giannis matchup in the first round.
See, can it happen though? That's what I'm asking.
Let me take a look. So
yeah, if Milwaukee beats Philly, Cleveland goes up to 3.
Yeah, it could definitely happen.
And then Milwaukee gets that 6th seed.
Right.
It could definitely happen. Yeah, now that I think of it, yeah, if Cleveland goes and plays, it goes to the 3rd and plays Milwaukee, then that's an easier road because Miami's in 7th, right? Yeah.
So you don't mind seeing Giannis in the first round?
Nah, hell no. I do not mind seeing Giannis. He's not ready. He doesn't have a jump shot. He's not ready yet. So I'm not going. I'm definitely going with Cleveland. That's an easy win. And then they play Boston in the 2nd round. Easy win. Well,
the disrespect.
I honestly don't see Boston beating Miami the way they're looking right now.
The thing with Milwaukee now, honestly, I don't give them a lot of credit. Milwaukee is Giannis is still a handful to guard, and if you're thinking that LeBron will guard Giannis, more power to him. But LeBron is going to be tired in the next round. He's going to be tired from trying to handle that beast.
Yeah, he is a beast. But Giannis is his first time in the playoffs, correct?
No.
He's not? Okay, the second time.
Second or third time. Milwaukee's been in there. They vote because the East was never this strong. So they could have a losing record and still be in the playoffs. So Milwaukee's had a couple of 7th or 8th seeds in the past.
He's no threat to LeBron at all. Right now.
Not saying he's a threat, but I'm saying LeBron's gonna have his hands full, and LeBron's gonna be extremely tired after that series because Giannis is 22 years old. He has those baby legs, and he's just gonna keep running and running and running, and that's gonna tire LeBron out.
You don't think Tristan Thompson could guard Giannis?
Hell no. What are you talking about? Tristan Thompson? Tristan Thompson can't guard Khloe Kardashian.
So you don't think no one?
You mean Khloe Kardashian can't guard Tristan Thompson? Have you guys seen the stuff with him today?
What happened?
This dude got caught cheating, man. Because he was in New York over the weekend. Knicks played. They played Cleveland over the weekend. They played Cleveland yesterday, so I guess they was in New York over the weekend. So they got pictures and videos of him walking in a hotel with some other chick. She was kind of bad though, but him walking in a hotel with some other chick. They got him in video sitting down on the couch with 2 other chicks kissing and all that shit. Caught you can't even deny that shit.
You mean to tell me that an NBA player making millions of dollars who travel to different cities every single night can't stay loyal?
That's the craziest thing I ever heard, bro.
Is that what you're telling me?
I'm ashamed of you, man. I'm ashamed of you. Tristan Thompson, you get donkey of the day.
Next time on Shacked and a Fool.
Yo, that's shit, man.
So basically, yeah, Tristan Thompson has no. If they play Milwaukee, LeBron.
Yeah, that was dumb. Tristan Thompson could guard Giannis.
If Milwaukee plays Cleveland, LeBron has no choice but to guard Giannis because if LeBron lets Giannis get his own, we could see an upset. I mean, if he just lets Giannis drop 40 per game, we can see an upset. What do you think about that?
I actually think, like I said earlier, playoffs is all about matchups. So when it comes to Milwaukee and Cleveland, you have Giannis and Jabari. You have pretty good wings.
And Bledsoe in a very physical point guard.
You got Bledsoe. You got Chris Middleton, who I like this guy a lot as a player. You got Giannis. You got Jabari Parker. And that Milwaukee team has length. They got size. Cleveland, that's where they struggle. So they have the matchups to give Cleveland a hard time. And all the games they played this year, I think Cleveland won, but they were all close. They were all very
Right.
close.
So in close games, and LeBron has to guard this 22-year-old freak of nature athlete. By next round, like, you should see some fatigue on LeBron. Am I wrong?
Yeah, Giannis is not an easy player to guard. And then in that second round, the thing about LeBron, what I seen Toronto do, when they put their bench or they mix their bench with their starters, you have to guard all 5 guys when they put Ibaka at the 5, because Ibaka could shoot too.
Right.
So LeBron can't just guard the weakest player on the court and
Right, like you saw in that last game, he was kind of like floating around the paint, leaving Fred Van Vliet
in the corner
for a wide open three,
and he was just ripping the net.
I mean, that's what LeBron's been doing most of the season. He's been playing free safety.
He didn't even run out to contest the 3.
The internet is back on, fellas. We got the internet back on. Yes, yes, yes. Poor man problems.
So now you can bring up your bullshit stat websites.
Now I got some stats and some facts behind my statements. Obviously, I mean, they are facts, of course, but
yeah, that's not facts. So you're saying Tristan Thompson could guard Giannis?
I know. I asked a question. I didn't say
that
he
was
could.
a very bad question.
I'm saying because I want to get down to the point. Is there anyone?
I usually say there are never bad questions, but that was a bad question.
is there anyone that in Cleveland that could guard Giannis other than LeBron?
No. Not even close.
Yeah, you don't think?
I mean, Jeff Green could give him problems, but then again, Jeff Green's got some mileage on him.
What about Larry Nance?
Larry Nance. Last name starts with an N. It's Larry Nance.
What about Larry Nance?
Larry Nance cannot guard Giannis.
You don't think he could?
Down in the post, maybe.
You don't think he give him a little bit of trouble? A little bit of trouble.
I mean, any NBA player can give a little bit of trouble, whether it's giving him a pickpocket or just giving him a little bit of body. But throughout the course of the game, Larry Nance has no shot against Giannis.
What about Kevin Love? You don't think Kevin Love can do it?
Kevin Love can't guard most 4s.
I don't think that's a true statement.
Kevin Love is known to have holes in his defense.
Okay.
He's never been a good defender. Even Tyson Chandler said it best when Kevin Love was on Minnesota, and they were up against the Knicks, and some reporter was asking, like, Tyson, like, how do you guys plan on stopping Minnesota with Kevin Love going at it, like scoring all these points? And Tyson Chandler just said, can't play D. As long as we get a few stops, we'll score on him every time. And that's when they had Amari, so Amari was doing work against Kevin Love. So Kevin Love can't play D. He's not a good defender. He'll have his moments, but he's not known for his defense. So hell no, Kevin Love can't guard Giannis.
Okay, that's just a question. I'm not gonna back up Kevin Love. I'm just want to get to
That's a stupid question.
I just want to get to the point whether if LeBron is the only person that could physically guard.
So he's the only
Giannis.
one who has the ability to do a good job.
I disagree. I think Larry Nance Jr. could possibly give him some trouble, and I think Tristan Thompson could possibly give him some trouble. So
There's no way Tristan Thompson or Larry Nance. I'm telling you, Jeff Green is the only guy off the bench that might be able to put in some work against Giannis. But really, he's one of those guys that's pretty unguardable.
Okay.
Like, unless you have like someone who's like that length, like Durant could give him problems. Like if LeBron tries, he can give him problems. If Ben Simmons was a little bit like bulkier, he can give him some problems.
Who has the tiebreaker between Philly and Cleveland?
It would be Cleveland.
Cleveland has a tiebreaker.
So if Cleveland wins against the Knicks,
when they play today,
they play tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
And say like Philly's going to beat Atlanta. Say Philly drops it to Milwaukee, then they would be tied in record. Cleveland would jump Philly
to the third.
Right.
Who does Cleveland play after the Knicks?
That's their last game. They're right now 50-31. If they beat New York, it would be 51-31 for a total of 82 games.
Okay.
Philly's 50-30. Looks like they're beating Atlanta, so they're going to be 51-31. And then Milwaukee, their game against Milwaukee will either make them 52-30.
When is their game with Milwaukee?
Tomorrow.
Okay, so the back-to-back. That's
right.
That's good. So Philly could possibly lose to Milwaukee tomorrow. If they lose, Cleveland is number 3.
If Cleveland beats the Knicks, which is looking good.
Okay, Milwaukee will stay in 6th.
Right. So if Milwaukee beats Philly, they'll stay the 6th seed.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That game is crucial. That Philly-Milwaukee game is crucial.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy. All these last games are crucial.
That's going to decide whether Milwaukee plays Cleveland or not. They might tank that game.
Well, if they'd rather see Indiana, I mean, like Vic O is no joke either. Indiana is pretty good right now. But yeah, it's all about they know their team.
I mean, well, Milwaukee might tank that game. They might as well want to see Philly instead of Cleveland.
It's real tough. I think Giannis has that beast mentality where he wants to see the best player possible. So I mean, I think they're just going to try and win. I think that's honestly what they're going to do. They're just going to try and win because they're a young team. They need to finish out the season strong.
Got to finish out the season strong.
So I don't think Milwaukee's going to try and tank that game to decide playoffs. I think they're just going to try and win, keep that 6th spot because I think they, if they want to be the best, they got to beat the best. And right now, if they end up in the 7th seed, Boston's not the best team. If they want to advance and take an easier route, do what you got to do. But I think they're going to try and win out the games to finish with the best record as possible.
Yeah, and I don't think Boston is going to make it to the second round. I think Boston is going to lose to Miami. And that's going to be a tougher road for Cleveland because Cleveland is going to have to play Pacers first round. And then, no, I'm sorry. No, they're playing Toronto. If Cleveland goes to the 3rd spot, they would have to play Miami in the second round.
Not if Milwaukee went in the second round.
In the second round. So
I mean,
Miami's not beating Boston's not beating Miami.
I think this is the first year in a while that LeBron hasn't had. I mean, like obviously, in Miami he had that Indiana team to go up against, which was his biggest jump to get to the finals. But this past 3 years in Cleveland, they've had a pretty easy road to get to the finals. This is the first year in a while that LeBron hasn't had. I think he has to worry about his first round matchup because the past 3 years they've been going 8-0 in the first 2 rounds, maybe dropping 1 game. Last year in the playoffs, they dropped 1 game to Boston in the conference finals. I don't think it's going to be that easy for them this year, and I'm very interested to see what happens. Matt, what do you think?
To correct you, LeBron's toughest matchup was Boston, 2012, when he was in Miami.
To correct when I said in the last 3 years?
No, when you said Indiana.
No, okay. No, in Miami? That Boston wall with Paul George and Lance Stevenson and when Roy Hibbert was playing out of his mind, that was the biggest test for them.
Boston in 2012, when they went in Game 7, Boston was up 3-2.
Oh, we're talking about different years. You're talking about 2012, I'm talking about 2013.
Yeah.
Okay.
Boston 2012, I'm talking about LeBron's tenure in Miami. That was his toughest matchup. They almost lost that series. They were down 3-2, and LeBron went to Boston and went nuts.
They almost lost that series to Indiana too. They won 7 games.
They won 7 games, but we all knew that Indiana wasn't winning.
Indiana looked like a well-oiled machine.
Paul George was a pup. That was his coming out party.
It seems like it, and it was a great time to come out.
Pause. Yeah. But
that was the 1 year that Roy Hibbert learned how to play basketball, and that was it. And after that, everyone just learned he was not that good. He was just very well coached. Was always playing a good
Roy
position.
Hibbert was actually Virgil. You got a garbage can around here?
No, but that 1 year where they won 7 games against Miami.
That's
Roy Hibbert. Roy Hibbert was a problem for
Roy Hibbert is a tall garbage can. He's trash, horrible.
But that 1 year he was a problem for Miami.
No. I don't need a garbage can. I was just trying to show you Roy Hibbert's with us tonight.
I know exactly what you're saying, but that 1 year when they went 7 games with Miami, Roy Hibbert was a real matchup problem with them because Miami didn't have a true center. They couldn't go that 7
and Cleveland doesn't have a true center this year either. So
they're gonna if they go up against Philly, they're gonna have a problem with Embiid.
And Miles Turner in the first round.
And Hassan Whiteside.
So I agree as far as his tenure in Cleveland, this is the toughest matchup. I think so far, since LeBron's been in Cleveland, the one series where they had against Chicago, 2015, with Derrick Rose, Jimmy Butler,
that game won 6 games, right?
It won 6 games, but Chicago was up 2-1.
Right.
I think
Nate Robinson was on that team.
That was a tough matchup.
Nate Robinson was on
If LeBron hit a game winner in Game 4 in Chicago,
and Derrick Rose hit that game winner in Game 3.
If LeBron didn't make that shot, they're down 3-1. And when you're down 3-1, I mean, now
Okay,
people
so
come down from 3-1.
It just went final. Sorry to interrupt. Washington beat Boston, so Washington is right now 43-38, tying them with Miami. So basically, Who does Washington got tomorrow? You got the internet up.
Washington guard tomorrow.
Who does Washington got tomorrow? Hold on one second.
I got it. Washington.
Yeah, your internet's fucking up again. What the hell? Okay, Washington has Orlando.
Yeah, they're gonna
so
win.
Orlando could.
But
Washington
but Washington actually needs help. They need the Bucks or Miami to lose.
Right. So
and then they'll move up.
If
to
Toronto
6.
beats Miami tomorrow, and Washington beats Orlando, then Miami's going to be 8th seed going up against Toronto. Washington's going to be playing Boston, which you just saw. It's very Washington can beat Boston easily. And then if Milwaukee.
I mean, playoffs are a different story, but you're right.
But then you have a whole young squad who hasn't seen a whole lot of playoffs.
With Boston.
Yeah.
Wait, who does Miami play in tomorrow?
Miami plays Toronto. So it all depends, what kind of Toronto shows up. If Toronto wants to win, they'll push Miami to the 8th seed, and they'll play Washington and they'll play Miami in the first round. If they decide to rest, even with that bench, they could beat Miami. But if Miami loses and Toronto beats Orlando, Miami will be the 8th seed. Toronto will be the 7th. Toronto will be the. Washington will be the 7th seed. Yeah. All right, guys. So we spent a good amount of time on the Eastern Conference. Now this
Eastern Conference.
This is the one I'm not looking forward to the most because there are so many more different potentials. The Wild Wild West, where not all the playoff seeds are clinched right now. Minnesota and Denver are still playing for that final playoff spot, and if Denver wins, apparently they can get up to the 6th seed because they hold some tiebreakers over San Antonio and New Orleans. Who knows? But there are so many different. The only locks you have right now are Houston and Golden State in 1 and 2. Looks like if Portland can beat Utah, let me see what that game.
No, I think Portland has number 3 locked up already.
Well, look at this right now. Utah right now is up 39 points on Golden State.
Wait, what?
Utah is up 79-40 halfway through the third quarter on Golden State right now.
And these are the fools you choose to place your faith. Is Steph Curry playing?
No.
That's what I'm saying. Who's playing? Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Kevin Durant, as of now, right? Because I think they're locked for number 2. They're gonna play OKC as of now. As of now. I know it's gonna change dramatically, but they could potentially play San Antonio in the first round. Either way, OKC, San Antonio, or New Orleans, where Anthony Davis is gonna be a problem for Kevin Durant.
So it looks basically like, Durant and Klay Thompson are having trash games. Draymond's having a trash game. And, it does look like Steph is their motor. Like, without Steph, rallying those troops.
He's better than Durant. I've been trying to say that for years. Steph Curry is better than Kevin Durant.
Is he a better player than Joel Embiid? No, I'm kidding. I'm fucking with you. I'm fucking with you.
My matchup that I want to see, and to be honest with you, I'm starting to get convinced that regardless of
41 points they're up.
Who they play, the matchup that I want to see, by the way, is OKC Golden State in the first round with no Stephen Curry.
That's not gonna happen, though, right? That can't happen.
It could. It could happen.
So basically, it looks like. No, I don't think it could, because so if OKC wins against, they're playing Memphis, so that's a layup right there. If OKC wins, they're gonna jump the winner of New Orleans, San Antonio. So basically, OKC would be in the 5th seed.
Wait, why would they jump the winner if let's say?
Sorry, jump the loser.
All right, okay, jump the loser. Okay, so they'll be in 6th.
Right, or no, they would more than likely be in the 5th because I think Denver would also jump the loser of San Antonio and New Orleans because tiebreakers. So Denver might end up in the 6th seed. OKC would end up in the 5th seed. And
wouldn't Denver jump Minnesota?
If Denver beats Minnesota, then obviously Minnesota will be out of the playoffs. But I was watching these potential playoff matchups that I wasn't, or seedings that I wasn't aware of. But Denver, if they win, Denver wouldn't be in the 8th seed, because they hold a tiebreaker over New Orleans and San Antonio, it seems like, and even OKC. So say OKC loses to Memphis and Denver beats Minnesota, then OKC would be the 8th seed against Houston, which would also be quite the matchup as well.
That would be a crazy matchup. I'm scared for Houston.
With Denver in the first round?
No.
So
OKC.
basically, if OKC loses to Memphis and Denver wins, Denver would hop OKC, and OKC might be the 8th seed.
OKC can't fall to 8th. 7th is where they would, the last place they would end up. If they have to lose, and Utah has to win tonight. If Warriors win tonight, then they cannot play OKC. I saw this earlier. I'm trying to find it, but I couldn't find it.
So what if OKC loses? They would be 47-35, and Denver wins. They would also be 47-35. Who has the tiebreaker? Because from the graphic I was watching on TV, if Denver wins, they will not be in the 8th seed because of tiebreakers. Because a lot of teams will have that 47-35
yeah,
record.
but I think Spurs might fall, or Pelicans, depending on who they. Because, like you said, Denver would jump to 6. One of these two dudes are gonna fall to 8th. OKC will stay right here.
It's very possible. What if OKC wins?
If they win, they actually go up to like 5th.
Right.
But I want to see OKC Golden State, because I think that would be karma for KD being a faggot and going to play with Steph Curry. Steph Curry's not going to play in the first round, and then this is if they lose tonight. I'm talking about Golden State. Then they will be 6-10 without Steph since
6-10
since March 9th. 6-10 without Steph.
Is their
That means he's they're 19th in points per game and 18th in threes per game.
Clay, Green, Draymond is playing. Clay and Draymond, are they playing?
They haven't played all of those games.
They're all playing right now, and they're all playing trash games.
Look, this team without Steph, they better hope and pray that they see like they could beat the Pelicans without Steph and maybe the Spurs. But that's it. If they draw Minnesota, and they'll beat Denver. But if they draw Minnesota or OKC without Steph, I'm willing to put up some money that they're going to get bounced in the first round.
Not against me, because I agree with you. Definitely,
okay, I'm putting money that they're going to get bounced in the first round.
And I was telling
dudes draw one of those guys.
And I was telling Alex earlier, I was like, OKC without Steph versus Jimmy Butler, Wiggins, and Karl Anthony Towns, it's over for Kevin Durant in the first round. So
well, you just said OKC without Steph. So what were you telling me again?
I mean, Golden State. You know what I mean? Golden State without Steph would be like would lose to Minnesota and OKC. But yeah, they could possibly beat San Antonio. They could possibly beat.
This is also Minnesota's first playoff berth, or potential playoff berth, since Kevin Garnett was there. Like, that team just doesn't know playoffs.
No, they do. They do. I'm proud of them. So,
they still have to win tomorrow.
Is there any scenario in which OKC stays in the 7th place to play Golden State? Is that even possible?
I think so, but do I want to talk about it? Not really.
It's real confusing, but basically they have to lose tonight. Warriors cannot win because Utah is 4th, and Utah could potentially fall to 7th. But Utah has to win tonight. They have to beat Golden State tonight in order to stay like up above, like in the top seeds.
And they up 40 right now. So
yeah. Yo, people think, you know what? The games still have to be played, but I want to see where the seedings end up. I think what's most likely going to happen, OKC is going to end up with. I want them to end up with the 6th seed. They'll play Portland in the first round.
Not unless Utah beats Portland, unless that would bring Utah up to the 3rd seed, Portland to the 4th seed. Because with Utah's win tonight against Golden State, they're both 48-33, and then they play each other in the last game of the season.
When do they play Portland?
Well, regardless if OKC stays at 6, regardless whoever they draw in that 3rd,
you want OKC to see Portland
or Utah, either or. It doesn't matter. They'll beat either one of them in like 5 or 6. Now, I want that second round matchup.
I want that
second round matchup to be Golden State, OKC. I got some money. Matter of fact, y'all should email us if y'all want to bet Golden State, OKC.
As much as I love to fight Virgil on his Cleveland antics, I love to fight you on your OKC antics because I don't think OKC is that great. I think I've always been this way. I love to watch the guy play because he's really fun. Not a big believer in Russell Westbrook in tight games.
You gotta, you know what? I used to hear the same thing about Kobe Bryant. To be honest with you, Kobe, they used to say Kobe's a ball hog. Kobe takes bad shots. We know he's a better shooter, but
He's
they used to say
a tough shot.
They used to say he takes bad shots. He shoots over double team and triple team.
He did.
Yeah, he did. But he won 5 championships doing that.
He made
shit.
them. Kobe made
Russell
them.
Westbrook, he didn't make all his shots. Come on, I'm a big Kobe fan, and
he made a lot more of those shots than Russell Westbrook did.
The thing is, Westbrook, he has a mentality of like, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to put my team in position to win.
And sometimes that mentality poisons him, and he just goes buck wild.
He has a squad now where they're not playing the best with the best chemistry with Melo and Paul George and Steven Adams. But the difference is from last year, Westbrook trusts those guys. So he's going to make the right play. He's going to pass it to Melo in the corner.
One can only hope.
Rather than jacking it up. I mean, who you rather pass it to, Melo or Paul George? Or last year, like Andre Robertson?
No, I totally agree with you about that.
I wouldn't pass it to Robertson either.
But remember, at one point...
Not even in 2K.
At one point, Russ had Durant and Harden on his team and still took those really bad shots.
They made it to the finals. They made it to the finals the last time that the three
right, no, and I understand that, but they didn't win, and then, they blew a 3-1 series to Golden State.
You gotta really... You could say that, but put in perspective, those dudes were like in their... very, very young, 21, 22, 23 years old. So they didn't even belong in the finals that year. They made it. They lost to a Miami team that was hungry. That was LeBron's first chip. I think right now I could say Russell Westbrook is the hungriest player in the league.
I agree.
For a championship.
I agree. Russell Westbrook
has
that mentality where he's
one,
so hungry.
He's the hungriest player in the league for a championship. And I'm not saying like he has to get it done this year or he'll never get it done. But you got Golden State limping into the playoffs. Cleveland out east, they don't look good. I think their matchup problem would be the Houston Rockets. The biggest hurdle for them to get over would be Houston. But now they have to get to Houston by going through Golden State. More than likely.
Houston's not exactly going into the playoffs red hot.
They're not, but at the same time, I don't want to see Houston.
No one wants to see Houston.
Listen, I'm not a believer in James Harden at all. I feel like he, and I'm looking at this objectively. Okay, I'm not trying to badger or beneath Harden at all. But in the freaking last year, right? What happened to him last year? He had an MVP caliber season, and then in the second round lost to. Was it
the Spurs? Yeah, but the thing is, any team that loses to the Spurs, you kind of got to take that with a grain of salt, because Greg Popovich is such an amazing coach. What he does, and this is from years of watching Kobe play the Spurs, he's not gonna let you kill. I'm not gonna let you kill me with everything. He did that to LeBron too. Okay. You could go get 40, but you're gonna have 3 assists. You're gonna have 4 assists. That's the game plan. So he used to do that to Kobe. Kobe used to try to go score 40, 50 points, but you still lose, right? The objective is to win the game. That's what they did to Harden. They stayed home on the shooters, and they just played Harden straight up one-on-one with either Danny Green or Kawhi Leonard. And Harden was taking them to the basket. He was scoring, putting up numbers, but his assist was not there because they're staying home on the shooters. Did the same thing to LeBron when they played them in the finals those couple years.
Do you think the same thing can happen this year if San Antonio plays Houston?
They don't have the personnel in order to keep up with them scoring wise because Kawhi's not there.
Facts.
And they don't have they have Kyle Anderson, but he's not a great defender.
They got Chris Paul now.
Yeah, the difference with Houston this year is they have great point guard play. All day long. The whole game, they have great point guard play. They didn't have that before. So I think So I'm really scared for Golden State, honestly, because last time we saw this story with Steph, when he was battling with injuries, that's when they lost in the finals.
It's karma. It's we've seen this movie before. If Steph is not 100% and it's looking like he's not going to be 100% for the rest of this playoff, they're not going to win. And it's facts. Even with Kevin Durant, they are still going to lose point blank because Kevin Durant is not Steph Curry. I said that before, and I'll say it again. He is not Steph Curry.
One thing I'll say, because I always, Kevin Durant is special. Like, we all know he's top 5 easily player in the league. Top 2, top 3, whatever you want to say. But I'll give him this. The team isn't built around him. The team is built around Steph. I'll give that. The team is built around Steph, so it's hard for you to succeed when the team is built around somebody and you remove that person.
But he chose that team. He chose this
system.
He
chose that team, but it's the same thing with LeBron. When LeBron left Cleveland,
he chose the team because he wanted to win an easy championship. He wanted that easier route.
But it's the same thing.
He took the easy way out, which is why he's a little bitch.
When people say facts, when people say that LeBron, when he left Cleveland, they went from probably like top seed to the worst seed in the league. So it's like, I get it, but the team was built around one player, and you remove that one player and you have complementary parts to him, you're not going to succeed. So the Golden State Warriors are built around Steph. KD is not Steph. Klay Thompson is not Steph. Draymond is not Steph.
But here's the thing. I hear what you're saying. That's a valid point. That the team is built around a certain type of player. But when John Wall got injured, the team did better. When Embiid got injured, the team did better. And the team was built primarily first around Embiid.
They're not built around Embiid.
At first, before Ben Simmons got there, they were building the team around Embiid.
They're more built around Ben Simmons than Embiid. I'll tell you that.
Ben Simmons is Ben Simmons' first year, so they didn't really know how to implement a system around Ben Simmons.
Last year was Embiid's first year, and the thing that they've done since then was draft Markelle Fultz, sign JJ Redick, sign a few other players. It's hard. Those are
shooters.
It's hard in 1 year or 2 years to build a team around a player.
Yeah, but primarily they was getting a bunch of shooters around.
Markelle Fultz is not a shooter.
Well,
Markelle
he's
Fultz
he's a good point guard.
He's a good point guard, but right now they're primarily using Simmons as the point guard,
which means he could pass the ball to Embiid, and Embiid could kick it out to open shooter. So
right, basically, their shooters are like Covington and Redick.
Okay, my point is, when other good players or best players on their teams sit out, the team kind of stays even keel. Look at Kyrie. And that you can't tell me that team wasn't built around Kyrie. I set up for Kyrie to come in. That team was set up for Kyrie to come in, and
that team was built to succeed in the coach's system and Brad Stevens' system.
And Boston,
so like they were originally designed to, play through Hayward. Okay. Hayward was their main guy, and obviously getting Kyrie.
I'm not gonna freaking talk about freaking Hayward and Kyrie and being the system built around Hayward.
That's what with the free agency and the system that Brad Stevens ran in Butler.
That Henny, man, that Henny's getting to you, man.
A little bit. It's my first time.
First timer.
So basically, Stevens coached Hayward in college, so he knew by going getting Hayward, he can do a lot of the same system and succeed. So off season was to build it around Hayward, and getting Kyrie was going to be a great complementary to Hayward, even though Kyrie was probably going to be the guy. But regardless, totally lost my point.
Okay, but I had a point. My point is that it's only Steph, the great players, to answer Matt's question. The great players are Steph Curry, LeBron. Those are the top 2 players in the NBA right now. I'm telling you right now. Steph Curry and LeBron James, 1 and 2. You know what I mean? Durant, and you could tell the separation between Steph Curry and Durant. You could see it right now, even when they're on the same team, and Steph Curry's out.
It's so hard to say, like, because Durant is like a top 3 player.
Top 3.
Right. So it's so hard to say that, like, you won't win a championship with Kevin Durant as the best player on your team.
It's tough. Listen,
it's weird to say that.
No, here's the thing. If Durant goes to Houston, they'll win the championship, and he's the best player on that team.
No, I mean, because they would still be built around Harden.
But you think? But he'll be the best player on that team.
I'm gonna tell you why, right? The Durant's playing style, he's just a scorer and like I guess you can't really call him a rebounder necessarily, but he's just a pure scorer. He's literally a pure scorer, right? So what Durant doesn't give you, which is what you need from a player who's going to be a pure scorer, is that 5-6 assists per game,
which
where
Harden could do.
Huh?
Harden could give you that.
More than that.
Well, Harden 8 assists. The key, why I'm saying that is because, like, that's what Steph gives, like 5-6 assists a game. Even though he's a point guard, he never had that much. But his is, Golden State do a lot of hockey assists, where like you just keep moving the ball till you find an open guy.
LeBron too.
So with Kevin Durant, in comparison to like Kobe and Jordan, who were pure scorers as well, but they were the best player on their team when they won. The thing is, with Durant, he's not giving you those assists. He's just scoring. So it's like he needs somebody else to get the other guys involved. Durant doesn't. That's what Steph does. That's what Draymond does. Yeah. You know, Durant doesn't do that. That's not his game. You don't. He's like more similar to Carmelo Anthony in his prime than anybody else.
Gotcha.
That's, you know,
comparison.
Like, he's a very unstoppable, literally unstoppable. You cannot stop this guy from scoring, pretty much. But it's like when you gotta get these other guys involved, like it's on you. Like Kobe, he's like, yo, it's on me to get my guys the ball, get them involved, get their confidence up. Jordan, same thing. LeBron, same thing. Durant's not built like that.
This is why Durant would never be better than LeBron.
I would never say that he was better than LeBron. Like, let me see. Durant's career high with assists. He did 5 a couple times.
Utah's still up 45.
Yeah. Durant did 5 assists a couple times, but that's why you can't build the team around Durant necessarily, because he's not going to give you like that all-around game. You don't have to do it to LeBron's level, but he doesn't do it enough.
He doesn't do it enough. That's why he's not better than Steph Curry.
Like Steph, I wouldn't build my team around KD. He's definitely a nice second best player to have on your team, but like to build it around KD, like I'm not doing that personally. Like what I think Westbrook, when he had that, when they were on OKC,
triple double.
Like he was averaging 10 assists per game. You know, he was getting all the other guys involved. You know,
yeah.
Now you got Steph, you got Draymond. Between the two of them, they give you like 13 assists. Like KD, that's why they're not succeeding right now without Steph. You know,
calm him.
It's gonna be tough for them to get out the first round without Steph. I'll tell you that right now.
Who you think? Yeah, it's over for Golden State, especially if they play OKC, Minnesota.
Well, if Steph does Houston. Make a miraculous comeback for the first round, because by God's name, they need him. They might need to, rush him back a little bit to make a playoff run, and just have him have him rest the off season. And also have him rest maybe like the first 2 months of the season.
Here's the thing. Steph Curry injured, game drops not dramatically, but it drops enough to make the difference between winning and losing.
No, I get that, but I think a little bit of a limpy Steph could make it out of the first round.
You know why? Why would you want a limpy Steph? That's your franchise player. You wouldn't want to risk that
basically, it comes down to if he plays, could he injure it more?
Exactly, and you don't want to take that risk.
No. But if he can't injure it more, if he's like at the worst it could possibly be right now, play through it.
But you can't say that because accidents happen. Just like
no, they definitely happen. But like that,
his own teammate falling
Kevin
into
Durant
his
is fully
leg.
healthy. Draymond Green is fully healthy. Klay Thompson is fully healthy. Any accidents can happen to them as well.
Yeah, but
you can't not play your best player because he might get injured. If this injury cannot get any worse, if it's the worst that it could already be, and it would just be painful for him to play, then you got to play through it.
You're brutal, man.
Okay,
you were sick. Your best player. Get out there and play.
You ever see the movie Miracle about the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team? You ever see it?
Yes. No,
okay.
I did. I heard about it.
Okay, you got to watch that. So basically, one of their better players got injured, and the coach asked the trainer if he plays, could he injure it more? And he's like, and the trainer's like, I don't understand. It's like if he plays, could he get injured more? And he's like, no, but it'll be already painful. So then he walks into the locker room, see this guy wrapped up with an ice pack on his leg, and he's like, gear up. He's like, what? He's like, gear up. And he's like, but, the trainer said I can't play. He's like, okay, you know what? Get dressed. You're going home. And then he got him fired up. He's like, you want me to play? He's like, I want you to be a hockey player. You want me to play? And then they got amped up. And then the coach walks out of the locker room and speaks to the assistant coach and is like, think that'll get him amped up?
See,
like, yep.
See, that is that type of mindset that is the reason why RG3 is freaking injured. And he cannot play in the freaking league no more. Because that's that damn mindset right there. I could play, coach. And then bust his freaking leg.
So that's what I'm saying. Because
his career is over.
RG3 had torn ACLs and blown out knees. I'm saying solely if.
No.
If.
Hold on. That happened in one game. That one game he got injured, went in the sideline, went back to the game, trying to be a freaking hero, and injured his shit even more.
No doubt. But obviously that was on the training staff to say, don't go back in. You can't go back in or else you're going to fuck up your career. I'm saying solely if Steph's injury cannot get any worse than it is right now, meaning if he plays, he can't re-injure it or injure it more, play him. Play through the pain.
Man, what kind of a coach are you, man?
Trying to win.
Even Steve Kerr himself said he's not going to play in the first round.
He could be bluffing.
He's being extra careful. If you have a limpy Steph Curry, sit him down, man. It's over. Let him rest. Let him get 100% before you put him in there. Especially if you're gonna have to go against Russell Westbrook. He's gonna have to guard Russell Westbrook with a limp leg.
He's not gonna guard Russell Westbrook.
Or with a limp leg.
He's gonna guard Corey Brewer.
Who else they might guard? They might play Portland. He has to guard Damian Lillard.
He probably would have to guard Damian Lillard.
He would have to guard James Harden.
Clay would have to guard CJ.
He would have to guard James Harden and Chris Paul.
No. That's why I don't think the Houston Golden State matchup's ever gonna happen.
Yeah,
I don't think Golden State's going to make it that
Sit him down, man. He's all limped. Well, he has to guard these guys.
Well, I'm saying, first of all, he would never go up against Portland or Houston in the first round. So,
I'm talking about for the playoffs.
Right, but he would never go up against Portland or Houston in the first round. So what he has to worry about right now, potentially having to go up against Russell Westbrook, might have to go up against Jimmy Butler. Who knows? But he might have to go up against Rondo. Whatever it ends up being, I think if he can play without getting re-injured, he should play.
Unbelievable.
Because there is that chance to get a first-round exit. So, I mean, it couldn't hurt. If it can hurt, it couldn't hurt.
It could injure him. It could destroy his career.
I'm saying, if it can't get any worse. If he plays, gets it worse, then don't play him. But if his injury can't get any worse, why not play him? Do you understand what I'm saying?
But it could always get worse.
Okay, if the trainers say, look, if you play, this injury that you have won't get any worse. It'll be painful to play through, but it won't get worse. Then play him.
Isn't that the same thing that just happened with the Spurs with Kawhi Leonard and the coach and the staff approved him to play?
The coach approved him because they said he was fully healed.
But he had a second doctor say, "Nah, you can't play."
Then he started playing and he's like, "I don't feel good. I'm not gonna play anymore." Then he got it evaluated from his doctor and it's like, "Yeah, you're not good to go." So the coaches said that he was cleared to go. He was fully healed. That's the difference between that. He's not cleared to play right now. So what I'm saying, by Saturday, or if they get the first game if they play Saturday or Sunday, if his injury cannot get any worse, and that's a big if, it's a huge if. If his injury cannot get any worse, and it's just painful to play through, by all means play him. Because if it's the difference between Steph whimpering a little bit on the sidelines or a first round exit, I'll take the whimpering. I'll let him play through that. Let Steph show how tough he is. So that's where I stand about that.
Okay, man, we agree to disagree. And, I have sympathy for these players. You
can't play with the knees. You cannot play with the knees. He got a sprained MCL. You can't play with the knees. Let the man come.
Alex doesn't have a heart. That's what it is. If
they lose in the first round because Steph is not there, there's always next year, bro.
There's always next year. They built for the future. They could give up a year.
Steph just turned 30. You know what I'm saying? You gotta what these guys be doing. They be looking for. They look and think for the future. So I'm just saying, I wouldn't put him in there if he's not 100%. I don't want to say 100%. 85, 90%.
Look, even with someone without a sprained MCL, fully healthy, can go out there and still tear their MCL.
No, yeah, you're right. But if it's already weak, it's more prone to be hurt.
If you just say, if it can't get any worse, that doesn't make any damn sense.
I don't know if you ever play with a weak ankle.
Oh, of course.
When you play with a weak ankle, you're gonna hurt it again. It's not.
So I'll use this as an example. So I know this is obviously not to scale, but I had a friend. I played volleyball with him in high school. He played the entire season with a sprained MCL, and he's like, "Yeah, hurt like a bitch, but I wanted to play, so I played." He didn't re-injure it anymore. It stayed sprained the whole time. It didn't heal because he wasn't resting it. But you can play with a sprained MCL.
He also wasn't contracted. He also had to have a multi-million-dollar contract.
No, I get that, and that's why the scale is obviously not there. But you can play with a sprained MCL. Like, it's gonna hurt like a bitch, but you can play it.
Okay. I mean, what you're saying is correct. You can play it, but the probability of you re-injuring that torn MCL, as opposed to being healthy, is substantially higher.
That's why I'm saying, obviously, if it can get worse, which it probably could,
absolutely,
don't play him.
Absolutely.
But if for some godforsaken reason there was no chance that it gets worse, play the damn thing.
But however, why would you even, like, what you're saying doesn't make no sense? Like, is there some chance that he could re-injure or not re-injure it? It doesn't make any sense what you're saying.
It does. There are specific injuries where you can play hurt, but it won't get any worse. There are specific injuries. Well, I'm no doctor. I don't know if a sprained MCL is one of those injuries, but hey, I would like to see the Warrior, because I like to see good basketball. I would like to see the Warriors come out of the first round.
Okay, it makes sense now. It's the fan talking.
Oh, I'm not a fan of the Warriors at all.
But you as a basketball fan.
Basketball fan, yeah.
It's the basketball fan talking that you would like to see Steph Curry play. So you would rather him re-injure his torn MCL so you could watch him and have an entertaining series.
He's not in contract with me.
It makes sense now. Okay, I understand. It's the basketball fan.
I do hope, even without Steph, that they can make it past the first round. So if Steph does come back in the second round, then maybe they can give Houston a little bit of pressure. But I honestly just want to see good basketball. I'm really interested to see. I hope Matt, you might be on a plane or might be in Cali time by tomorrow. But that Denver Minnesota game is going to be a blood battle. Who do you think wins that game?
Going with the Minnesota Timberwolves, because they got Butler back finally, and Karl Towns is Karl Towns, but I think Jimmy Butler is one of my favorite players. He plays both sides of the ball. He
is one of the most. He probably is one of the most swaggiest players out there. He's just so calm and collected.
He's just the man. Like
Jimmy Buckets is the man.
He is the man. He's just the man. So he's one of my favorite players for sure. And I want to see them in the playoffs. I really don't want to see them match up with Houston because Houston killed them every time this year. But I want to see them
wins,
in there.
I think they'll be the 8th seed.
Yeah, they're playing for the 8th seed right now. So unless whatever. But regardless, I just want to see Jimmy Butler in the playoffs because he's that kind of guy who, when he needs to, he'll go in and drop 40 to get you a W. So I think it might be one of those nights
and then guard
tomorrow.
Your best
player. That's why you got to respect him.
That Butler-Harden matchup is going to be unreal.
One of the. I think there's only 4 perimeter guys in the league right now that they'll give you 40 points on offense and guard your best player on the other end. That's like Paul George, who has potential to do that.
Klay
Thompson, Jimmy Butler.
When healthy.
Kawhi is hurt. I was gonna say Westbrook because he doesn't back down from any point guard matchups.
But I would even give it to Durant. Durant's still gonna guard your best player.
Not really.
He is though.
It depends who your best player is.
Who's he not gonna guard?
He's not guarding a guard. He's not guarding CJ or
so
Dame.
If that's a complete mismatch, but
it's not. Durant is 7 foot and he can move like a guard. It's not his mismatch.
It is if for example, I know he does, but he guarded Westbrook in that series and Golden State did pretty well.
You have to be realistic.
I think Durant plays pretty good defense. He's pretty good defense, and he'll give you 40 on a night.
I've seen prime LeBron guard 1 to 3. I don't really see LeBron guard 4s.
So you don't
really seen that. But 1 to 3.
You don't think KD could guard 1 to 3? 1 to 3?
No, he doesn't. He never guards point guards. LeBron, I've seen him.
He just said last podcast that he was guarding Westbrook.
He guarded Westbrook at parts in the game, and they did very well. But I don't see that being like a game plan throughout the whole playoffs. I haven't seen it happen yet. That's what I should say. That was the first time I ever seen him guarding a point guard. It was kind of weird. But
I mean, hey, you gotta
LeBron. He
mix it up.
guarded. I've seen LeBron guard like 1 to 3.
Right.
Kobe used to guard.
I've seen LeBron guard 1 through 4.
What fours has he guarded? Like what good power forwards has he guarded?
You don't think he guarded Dirk at all during those finals?
They had Chris Bosh,
Well,
and
Chris
he was
Bosh
getting
had to play the
cooked.
5 a lot.
And he was getting cooked.
Chris
They
Bosh had to play
were
the 5 a
putting
lot.
Bosh on him and Haslam.
So
They
when
had-
Bosh was getting cooked and when Haslam was getting cooked, LeBron guarded him sometimes.
and he was getting cooked.
LeBron wasn't getting cooked as much as like Bosh and Haslam were, because LeBron played a really good defense.
No, that was his prime. So he was able to guard. I remember he guarded Westbrook. He guarded like Rondo at one. You know, like LeBron used to do that. Kobe used to do that too. So like that's very impressive to like Jimmy Butler. That's why I put him up there like top 5 two-way players for sure. Like DeRozan, like he doesn't do that kind of stuff.
No, DeRozan's not going to give you 40 in a
Paul
game.
George would do it. Paul George would do it.
Because Paul George is. Would you say Paul George is superstar caliber, or would you just say he's a really good all-star?
He's like a tier under superstar.
Okay, I agree.
Because the thing is, when you look at his, like he never averaged more than 23 points.
Mm-hmm.
He did have his own team in Indiana. Like, bro, you should have been putting up 27, 28 at night, you know?
Right.
DeRozan might be a step ahead of Paul George. Because last year, DeRozan averaged like 27, 28.
Right.
So, and he was, you know, he plays defense. But, you know, like we got to wait and see. It got to play out. But I think Minnesota, I don't want to see Denver in the playoffs. I'll be honest with you. My personal opinion, I want the Spurs to drop out because they're so boring to watch.
No, I agree with that. But unfortunately, they already clinched, not getting the 50 games, so that streak is broken. But I would like to see Minnesota in the playoffs because every year that they draft another guy, like it's just always like, all right, it's that time for Minnesota. They're going to make the playoffs this year, and then they suck. And this year, finally, signing a good veteran in Jimmy Buckets. They were having a great season until Jimmy Buckets got injured. Man, he could be the MVP this year, Jimmy Butler.
He was so valuable to that team, he might be the most valuable player because they were third seed like all year, like third, fourth seed all year, and then they just dropped.
But then you could also make that case for Steph because clearly the Warriors are not doing well without Steph. It would be interesting to see like Houston without Harden. He's played the majority of the season, so we don't really know how Harden is without Houston is without Harden. But that's a completely different topic. I would like to see Minnesota in the playoffs because I think Minnesota and Houston, that matchup would be really, really fun. I think Houston wins in 5, honestly.
Yeah, I don't see Minnesota winning more than like 1 or 2 games tops. They might be down 3-1 and win a game, but win another game. But I don't see them really competing. They just can't keep up with that pace. They play too slow. Houston plays too fast.
Right.
It's just not in their favor.
So I think we're all hoping for that OKC Golden State series, because OKC probably would wash them.
They would actually. I see them winning in like 6.
OKC
Golden State. They'll win in 6. Personally, that's what I think. And I just feel like that would be such karma, and Westbrook will be like, I'm winning this series by myself if I have to.
See, that's where it gets poisonous. With Westbrook's mentality, I'm going to do this by myself and completely disregards his teammates, that's where he gets poisonous.
But you could say that and think about it, but it is basketball at the end of the day. Like he's not going to actually try to win it by himself, but he's going to do whatever he has to do to make sure that they're in a position to win the game.
Okay, so if they're down, if OKC is down like 5 with like 45 seconds left, you don't see Westbrook taking a lot of bad shots in the end.
If they're down 5 with 45 seconds left,
something like that.
Whoever takes shots is going to take bad shots at that point in time.
So you don't think they're going to try and set up a good play and like maybe get Paul George an open shot or maybe get Melo an open shot? You don't. I definitely see Westbrook taking a bad
But
shot.
the thing is, with the NBA, when it gets to those moments, you kind of like, we lost. Not that we lost, but like if we don't hit a 3 right now,
right,
game over. So,
and I think that Westbrook has that mentality in a lot of games.
And there's probably like a handful of teams / coaches that actually play the right way, as far as like, we're not gonna play hero ball. we're gonna draw this play up, and our best 3-point shooter is gonna end up with a open shot. There's only like 5 coaches that's gonna be able to do that.
Right.
Like the Rockets, they would literally call a screen and roll and tell Harden to just dribble and do a step back over the defender to try to get a 3.
Right, because D'Antoni's an offensive mastermind. Never been known for his defense, but he's got a pretty good defensive squad who doesn't need to be taught defense. So I think that's why D'Antoni thrives in this system, because with the players that he has, he can fulfill his offensive schemes and they'll flourish. But like then you have the Ariza, then you have the who's their center? Clint Capella. Nene is a little bit old, but he'll still like muscle you around. And then Chris Paul is one of the better defending point guards. And then Harden, when he tries, can be a good defender. But you know, I mean, he's been doing all right. He's been doing
Harden
all right.
been better this year. His defense is all about effort. To be honest,
right? That's
defense
what it's all
is
about.
literally all about effort. So once you put in that effort, you'll be alright.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
Like we could see that LeBron puts in 0 effort. You know,
He
doesn't even try, right, Virgil?
What? You said LeBron puts a 0 effort.
That's exactly what I said on defense.
I mean, that's for the season, you know. But for the playoffs, it's a different story. I seen LeBron clap down in the playoffs on defense, and he hasn't played defense all year long. It's just a plan that LeBron just has. He could play defense. He's proven it time and time again.
Not since like 2013. If you call that one block on Iguodala defense,
for the championship, for the title, yeah, I think I call it. I call the block defense.
That's athleticism.
That's part of defense.
That's timing.
Yeah, that's just timing. He just got lucky that JR cut him off, so he couldn't dunk it. That's really a great defense play by JR Smith. But of course, they just want to highlight the block.
I mean, the block is what did it, and that was the finals for the championship. It was on the defensive end of the court, so that was defense right there. So LeBron has proven time and time again that
who was LeBron guarding that series?
LeBron was guarding who was he guarding in that series? Klay Thompson, Harrison Barnes.
So you know what that means?
What?
He didn't play no defense that series, so he had all his energy for offense. He was just chilling by the paint.
I mean, who you want him to guard? Steph Curry? You want him to guard Steph?
I mean, that was Golden State's fault for having Harrison Barnes instead of Iguodala.
Exactly. So you can't blame LeBron. You can't blame LeBron for that. You know, LeBron's been
That's why he got cooked by KD when they replaced KD with Harrison Barnes. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that pull-up 3 was a dagger. It did mess me up for days.
What about the time when he dropped LeBron at the 3-point line?
What you mean? He dropped LeBron at the 3-point line?
Yeah.
That inbounds play where LeBron closed out and KD just blew right by him.
Okay, I mean that
LeBron
dunk.
hit the deck.
I made that dunk.
Fell on his ass.
I mean, I could go plenty of times. LeBron embarrassed KD. I mean, it goes hand in hand. They're both 2 great players. It happens. Jordan got some embarrassing moments too.
Stop it.
Iverson. Do I have to recall Iverson? And it's some others. It's some others too.
The crossover. Okay.
It was some others too. It was some others.
It wasn't in the championship.
So it was just a basketball game, man. It happens.
It's basketball. Everybody gets embarrassed, bro.
That's my point.
But you're not everybody's LeBron James, so it gets glorified. And when you guys try to make it seem like LeBron is freaking God,
he's the best player in the world right now. So it is what it is.
He better than Jordan?
Is he better? Nah, he's not better than Jordan.
Is he better than Joel Embiid?
Yes, Alex. He is
fair.
better.
That's fair. I agree.
Well, all right. Is he better than Kobe Bryant?
Yes, he's better than Kobe Bryant.
What makes him better than Kobe?
Just the eye test. I could just look at and tell that he's better than Kobe. Like, he's just a physical specimen. Whatever team he's on, give LeBron, Lamar Odom, Paul Gasol, Bynum. Give LeBron Shaq. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
how about you give Kobe, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, and see if Kobe's gonna go 2 out of 4 in NBA. Come on, bro.
They're going to the championship.
They're going 4 for 4.
It might.
They're not losing to Dallas.
They might.
And they're not losing to the Spurs.
Kobe is more clutch.
Kobe's more clutch. Kobe's gonna will his team to victory no matter what. He's not gonna shrink in the small moments. He's not gonna pass out of nobody. He's not gonna pass it to Kyle Korver or like somebody else.
What's wrong with
Daniel Marshall?
I mean, that was the wrong.
Because when they miss, you're gonna blame Kyle Korver.
That was the basketball play.
You're gonna blame Kyle Korver when he misses that shot.
I feel like
Kobe Bryant is an assassin. Kobe Bryant is a killer. He's an assassin. He puts fear into the defense. Like, damn, what are we gonna do about this dude?
He is an assassin.
He's about to come and drop 40, and there's nothing we could do about it.
And you're right. He is more clutch. He is more clutch than LeBron.
And Kobe actually allowed his teammates to play their game. He would give Gasol and Bynum, let them play that high-low. LeBron dominates the ball way more than those dudes did.
They're two different players, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they are, but Kobe's better.
Takes the ball up the court. Kobe sometimes does it in pressure situations, but he doesn't do it on a regular basis as LeBron.
Wait, how many chips does he have?
Who, LeBron?
Yeah.
3.
Okay.
What, two less than Kobe? Okay.
How much does Kobe have?
5.
Oh, okay.
3 with Shaq.
Okay, case is closed.
Shaq MVP. So
okay, LeBron has how many chips without
3-time MVP in the finals?
But how many chips does he
MVP?
have without Wade and Kyrie Irving?
Come on, man.
How many chips does he have without superstars?
Come on, man.
Let's just answer the question.
Like, what kind of question? So Kobe had Shaq 3 years, and Kobe had Gasol and Odom.
Gasol and Odom equal Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love?
They were both all-stars.
Lamar Odom never made an all-star game.
Okay.
And Gasol's highest point per game average was 18. Whereas LeBron had Kyrie averaging like 25, Dwayne Wade doing 26 as their second best player. Where LeBron's third best player always was like 17, 18. Kobe's third best player was like 12 and 13.
Did LeBron have Phil Jackson?
It doesn't matter. You got to play on the court and do what you got to do.
If Phil Jackson doesn't matter, the coach doesn't matter. The coach doesn't matter.
The coach does matter, but LeBron is the coach wherever he goes. So that nullifies the coach. That's his fault.
So you're gonna pull the coach, the coaching plays, and the basketball all on LeBron, right? He has to run the whole freaking organization. Like, come on, man. I don't know. Let's keep talking. So what it is that LeBron definitely has like more.
Does not have the clutch gene.
He
had better,
but he's more clutch now.
He's more clutch now, but he had better teammates than Kobe and Jordan did. Kobe and Jordan got championships with less, bro. Trust me. You don't want me to pull out the stats because I'll prove it.
What Kobe? What you say? Kobe has more.
So Denver and Minnesota. Who's making the playoffs?
Denver or Minnesota?
Yeah. Who's making it?
I'm going with Minnesota.
Okay, I'm going with Minnesota. Good talk, guys. That was a really good debate. I'm glad we had such
with this LeBron conversation.
I'm glad we had such an in-depth. One day, when there's no NBA to talk about, like during the offseason, we can have a full-out blood battle. Who is better, Kobe or LeBron? And we'll go to the deaths. We'll have all of our stats out. We'll have it all written down. But right now, we're talking about playoffs because they start Saturday. Tune in, everybody. What do you think, guys? Time for final thoughts?
Yeah, let's do the final thoughts.
All right. Who wants to start off with final thoughts today? Matt, you got final thoughts, right?
Final thoughts. I'm talking about this Rookie of the Year debate we have going on between Ben Simmons and Donovan Mitchell. It's kind of interesting.
Are you bringing up Richard Jefferson's Snapchat right now?
Nah, what do you have on the Snapchat?
So basically he said Donovan Mitchell was the true Rookie of the Year, and that's because it's not Ben's fault, but
he redshirted for a year, basically.
Right, so basically he redshirted a full year, so he was able to practice a full year with NBA. He was able to sit courtside, watch all these NBA games. So it's not Ben's fault, but Donovan Mitchell is the true
I get it, because when you're like around the players, you get to see the environment of the league. You get a year advantage basically as far as how the NBA works. You get a year of learning the system that you're going to be playing in. It is kind of, an advantage. Mitchell had a rookie. He had a hoodie on today that said rookie. And the definition of rookie is like an athlete playing his or her first season as a member of a professional sports team. To throw shade at Simmons.
So it's interesting that you bring up that definition because the definition said what is it?
An athlete's an athlete
playing his first year with a professional team. Ben Simmons did not play last year.
Luka Mbamute
out with injury,
shoulder.
Okay,
but no, Ben Simmons didn't play. But like I said, he got to be around the team for a year, around the coaching staff. He got to get so much information, and as you get better in the league, your IQ increases as well. So his IQ is a year ahead of everybody else who's learning it, and they're just fresh. It definitely makes a difference.
Ben was to do a lot of what Donovan Mitchell couldn't as a college player. Like he was able to talk to these other athletes and just hang out with them.
Yeah, because
Mitchell when you're in college, it's very sketchy to hang out with NBA players because there's always potential that they're giving you shit. They're giving you money. It's sketchy. So Ben Simmons was a free man. He was allowed to do what he wanted as a professional player. So he was probably taking lessons from all over the place. He had courtside seats to every single NBA game that the Sixers had, and he was able to watch the best in the world. But I get where Mitchell's point is coming from, but Ben Simmons is still going to win it. Like the guy plays like it's his fifth year in the league.
I think they should do co-rookie of the year and call it a day.
Ooh, the J Kidd and Grant Hill.
Yeah, that's what they should do.
What you think? Do you think 20 years from now that Donovan Mitchell and Ben Simmons would be put into the Hall of Fame together, like J Kidd and Grant Hill?
It's impossible to say because you never know with
how long their career is going to last.
Injuries. You never know how
no, honestly,
turn out.
If there was going to be a year where they do co-rookie of the years, I would not be mad at it being this year.
Because if you think about it, I could think about a couple years ago, a few teams or a few players, I should say, had pretty good rookie years, and then just from there, just like Andrew Wiggins,
Tyreek
Evans, they didn't fulfill their potential. That always happens. So you gotta wait and see. Oh God, Andrea I'm done, man.
And then there are some first overall who just never have that year, like the Greg Odens, the Anthony Bennett's. So yeah, I want to be mad at co-MVPs, co-rookie of the years, but Ben Simmons is a future MVP, like no doubt about that.
No, he got game. That dude, and he got game. Put it like that.
And just think about it. Once he develops a jump shot, like if
who do you think is going to get that jump shot first, him or Giannis?
Giannis is already Giannis has 3 more years in the league than him, but Giannis has already shown like he can somewhat stroke it a little bit. But Giannis is going to get that jump shot first.
Pause.
Virgil, what are your final thoughts?
Yeah, I have two final thoughts actually, but to Matt's final thought, I definitely agree that Tyreek Evans was like, he was supposed to be that next point guard in my opinion. He
was in that conversation with like LeBron and like
he was like a Westbrook,
those rookies that averaged 25 and 5.
Yeah, he was like that Westbrook type of athlete. He could have been. So anyway, definitely I feel like what was your final thought again? You
I didn't have a final thought yet.
Oh, okay. Anyway, so I like to shout out to Notre Dame, the women's basketball. Women in general. Because women been doing a lot of serious things lately, as far as entertainment and also in sports. But yeah, Notre Dame killing it. Finally it wasn't UConn. So definitely shout out to the Notre Dame athletes. And I would like to also give a special shout out to Cardi motherfucking B. Have you heard that album? The Cardi B album?
No.
Okay, I'm sure. Man, you heard the album? Get Matt the freaking microphone, man. Yo, you heard that album, man?
Yo, I gotta say that album fire, bro.
That was fire,
It's
man.
fire, man. It's gonna give these chicks out here a lot of captions and material to be just. It's gonna be a tough summer for us. I'll tell you that right now.
Yo, what about that song? I went through your phone last night. Are you serious?
I deleted that one off my phone, bro.
I would not let my girl hear that song, man.
I listened to it while Shorty was in the car with me.
Oh,
so you're
man.
right. Man, I got side-eyed the whole time that thing was playing.
Yo.
But I had to delete. I'm never playing that song again.
Yes.
But she got a couple bangers on there.
Yeah,
though.
she got that song, Uma Como Va, Baby Mo, and it said, oh, I like it like that. I like it song. How it go? That I like it song.
With who? By herself?
Matter of fact, I'm gonna play that shit right now. Play
that
shit
song
right
she
now.
got with
No. I'm gonna do a snippet, man. This is my final thought. I can do a snippet. Let me see.
But speaking of that Notre Dame women's finals, that Ongubawale girl, she is nuts. Back-to-back buzzer beaters.
Kobe.
No, literally Kobe. She wears 24 for Kobe. Beating Notre Dame at the buzzer and then beating Mississippi State at the buzzer. That was very intense. Kudos to that girl. She should get paid a lot of money in that WNBA.
Yeah, man. And they need to make more in the WNBA, by the way. You know, Candace Parker talking about.
Dude, I fucks with WNBA hard. Like, when it's playoff time for them, like, those girls go hard, and I fuck with them so hard. Like, I just wish Candace Parker can just win all the championships in the world. Like, move over Maya Moore. I just want Candace Parker to win them all. But, you know, I want Elena Deladon to get a championship as well. I think Brittany Griner's already got one.
Oh, yeah.
Diana Taurasi's a beast.
Yeah, Dan Taurasi, man.
But, yeah, I want Elena Deladon to win one badly.
This is the song right here.
Taurasi is like the Kobe of the NBA, by the way. WNBA.
No doubt. Candace Parker, believe it or not, she's like the LeBron of the WNBA.
I like dollars, I like diamonds, I like stunning, I like shining, I like $1 million deals. Where's my pen? Bitch, I'm signing. I like those Balenciagas, the ones that look like socks. I like going to the Tula. I put rocks all in my watch. I like texts from my exes when they want a second chance. I like proving niggas wrong. I do what they say I can't. They call me Cardi, banging body, spicy mommy, hot tamale, hotter than a Somali. Ferrari, hop up the stool, jump in the.
Okay, man. That was enough for that snippet. But yeah, that song, that album, that's my final thought right there. That's my final thought right there. That damn album.
Shit like cardio, I'm in district in the chain. Certified, you know I'm gang.
You done?
Drop the top and blow the brand. Oh, he's so
Alright,
handsome.
bro.
What's
We
his
good, bro.
name?
I'm gonna have to hear that shit all summer, bro.
Yeah, that song's gonna be
All spring and summer.
all over,
But
man.
I like that song. Moneybag she got.
Oh, that Moneybag song.
Drip featuring Migos.
Woo.
And she got that joint with YG.
Yeah, shout out to
bad.
Cardi.
She bad.
She killing
got
it
some
right
hits
now.
on there.
I
But
feel bad for.
the thing is, all summer, we're gonna have to hear that shit from
On
these
the beach
females.
and
It's
everywhere.
Like, I don't know how I feel about that. I need somebody to drop some heat. One of y'all fellas out here, man. Future,
Yeah.
Drake, Migos. Somebody drop a new mixtape, new album. I'm calling y'all out.
Little Dicky, do your thing.
Somebody represent for the fellas real quick, man. What's up?
Yo, your son gotta go down. They got girls trip. You know, what about a boys trip? You know what I mean?
What's up, man?
Okay, guys, I think it's time for my final thoughts. So gonna keep it short and sweet. Yo, Russell Westbrook, go get your 18 boards. You averaged that triple-double, you beast of a motherfucker. Do your thing, man. We out. Remember, tune in next time. We're dropping episode 4 soon. We'll get this episode out real quick. Trust the podcast.
Aquí prohibido amar, dile charitín. Que perpico le tengo claritín. Yo llego a la disco y se forma el motín.
I'm in district in the chain. Certified, you know I'm gang. Drop the top and blow the brand. Oh, he's so handsome. What's his name? I need the dollars to just beat it up like pinata. Tell the job, close the curtain.
money. Yeah. I know way too many people here right now that I didn't know last year. Who the f*** are y'all? I swear it feels like the last